whispers. And today, I will be reading some Star Wars facts. I'll be reading some Star Wars facts specifically about Boba Fett, the legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett. As Boba Fett is the center of the new Disney Plus series, The Book of Boba Fett. I don't know if I'd consider it a show or just like a limited time series, because I believe they're only planning on doing this one season of this show. This is the first video I am recording in 2022. Happy New Year's, everybody. If you watched my New Year's Eve recipe video, I did have a little party with my friends, and all of the recipes were a hit. I didn't end up making the mulled wine because there was definitely enough alcohol for everybody. With the espresso martinis and the blue motorcycles, those two were definitely a hit. And then the garlic bread on the crescent rolls were really good. The crescent rolls, the ones that you just like roll up. And then what else? The fried ravioli, I made them in the air fryer and they got really hard, so those weren't great. I guess I should have baked them. Oh, the stuffed mushrooms were really good. I'd make them again for myself, like as a snack. But anyway, I'm sorry. I hope everybody had a great New Year's. I had a great New Year's. But let's get straight to the facts for this video. Everything, and these are facts. But the article is actually called Everything You Need to Know Before Watching The Book of Boba Fett. 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 I did watch the first episode, but there won't be any spoilers in this article because it was written on December 27th, 2 days before the episode premiered. I really liked it. I love some Star Wars YouTubers, non-ASMR, like Star Wars Theory and Eckart's Ladder, and New Rock Stars. I know he does Marvel too. But something I love is just like watching a piece of Star Wars content and then like watching a video breakdown or like an Easter egg breakdown from one of those YouTubers. Okay, so this article says, as we prepare to close the book on 2021, Disney Plus is opening another one, and this tome comes from a library far away. I forgot to say, put down your phone and relax, everybody. Relax, close your eyes, go to sleep. You're all first season, Boba Fett returned in season 2, where he was played by Tamora Morrison. The New Zealand actor kind of reprised his role because he played Boba Fett's father, Jango Fett, in Attack of the Clones. And since Boba is an identical clone of Jango, they're basically the same. Boba Fett went on an adventure with the titular Mandalorian to finish off the season, but the finale's post-credit scene teased that he would be getting his own series, which would follow him to Tatooine, where he seems poised to take over Jabba the crime empire, to prepare for what looks like Star Wars' take on organized crime. Let's go over some Boba Fett backstory. So, I'm going to call this fact number one. Who is Boba Fett? Who is he? Is he a Mandalorian? Like, no, because he's a clone. But I kind of forget, like, the whole, in The Mandalorian, he's wearing the Mandalorian armor that has his father's name before him. It says Boba Fett made his live-action debut in the 1980s. The Empire Strikes Back. Though hardcore Star Wars fans will no doubt be quick to point out that he actually appeared in an animated segment in the infamous 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special. His first chronological appearance in the franchise, though, was in the Attack of the Clones. In that movie, we meet Boba as a little kid, here played by Daniel Logan. When Obi-Wan Kenobi travels to the planet Camino to investigate rumors of a clone army. Every single clone trooper was a modified copy of Jango Fett, a Mandalorian, though not as devout as Pedro Pascal's title character in The Mandalorian. Boba was different, as he was the only clone that was not altered to age faster or be more obedient. There was one other special clone, a female version of Jango, named Omega, spoiler alert for the Bad Batch, who appeared in the animated Bad Batch series, but probably won't factor into the Book of Boba Fett. Oh, you don't think that Disney is going to put a live-action Omega so that more people go back to watch the animated Bad Batch? I think they would. One of my greatest accomplishments in quarantine, and I can't remember honestly if I watched it in 2020 or 2021, but it was back when I lived in my old apartment, and obviously we're stuck at home. I watched the entire Clone Wars animated series from start to finish. I liked it because it was like 20-minute episodes, and then it would be like 3 episodes would be like a little adventure that'd go on. And so at the point I had watched But most of what happened between episode 2 and episode 4 happens off screen. At some point he started wearing his dad's Mandalorian armor and became a bounty hunter, eventually taking a job with Darth Vader to help capture Luke Skywalker. In the process, Boba captured Han Solo, froze him in carbonite, and sold that Hansicle to the crime lord Jabba the Hutt. That's funny. This article is funny and it's on time.com, like Time Magazine. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's true that Boba is the bounty hunter. I didn't realize that. I guess was Jango a bounty hunter too, or was he just a Mandalorian? Boba hung around Jabba's palace on the desert planet of Tatooine. But when Luke and his pals pulled off their convoluted plan to rescue Han, Boba suffered a jetpack malfunction and went plummeting into the jaws of a sarlacc, a buried monster that slowly digests its prey over the course of 1,000 years. It was an inglorious end to the surprise fan favorite character. Or was it? Okay, the next section. What did Boba Fett do in The Mandalorian? What did he do in The Mandalorian? Canonically, is that how you say it? Canonically, the last anybody saw of Boba Fett until he reappeared in The Mandalorian. Oh, canonically, that's the last anybody saw of Boba until he reappeared in The Mandalorian. Him falling into the Sarlacc pit. How exactly he escaped the Sarlacc pit is yet to be revealed, but one way or another he got out of the belly of the beast. His armor, though, was found and worn by a local named Vanth. Sorry, I cannot read. And Vanth gave the Mandalorian armor to the Mandalorian Dinjarin after the pair killed a menacing Krayt dragon together. Boba, along with Fennec Shand, a bounty hunter whose life he saved, manages to track Dinjarin on the planet Tython. Boba proves his dad's Mandalorian heritage and just lays waste to a ton of stormtroopers. He ends the season by accompanying Din and the Mandalorian's other various allies on a mission to rescue Grogu, aka Baby Yoda. Upon successful completion of the mission, Boba and Fennec got back on his ship, the unfortunately named Slave One, and headed off to Tatooine. As the post-credits scene revealed, the pair strolled into Jabba's mostly abandoned palace, quickly dispatched of Bib Fortuna, one of Jabba's lackeys who had seemingly been running the place, and took a seat on the throne. Based on trailers for the Book of Boba Fett, the series will be about Boba, with Fennec Shand as his number 2, creating a crime empire of their own in as a character in the current Star Wars canon, but there are tons of stories involving the bounty hunter that are no longer canon. Prior to Disney's takeover of the franchise in 2012, Boba was a regular feature in what was then called the Expanded Universe, a sprawling series of books, comics, videos, and video games. In that canon, Boba escaped the Sarlacc thanks to his Mandalorian armor and sheer determination. He went on to become the leader of the Mandalorians during an intergalactic war, and eventually trained one of Leia and Han's children to kill the other one after their turn to the dark side. What? That's crazy. However, none of that is canon. The expanded universe has been renamed Star Wars Legends. So, the Book of Boba Fett will be a brand new page for the character through the new movies and shows to occasionally borrow or remix plots and characters from the Legends canon. Is that what happened to Thrawn? Is he from Legends? And now he's being brought into the Mandalorian. I mean, I guess he was in what's that animated show? The Resistance? No, not Resistance. That's the newer one. The one with Hera. I can't remember what it's called. But it's animated, and I did say I would watch this. But my boyfriend was like, no, I can't, I don't think I can watch another animated show. Next section is what can we expect from the Book of Boba Fett? Promotional material for the Book of Boba Fett has kept the plot pretty vague, though the basic premise seems pretty straightforward. Boba, who claims to have his bounty hunting days behind him, wants to rule the criminal underworld that Jabba the Hutt once loomed over. He gathered Jabba's former generals and is proposing that they work together to their mutual benefit and wealth. Where the Jabba ruled with fear, Boba will rule with respect. Although given how good Boba is at killing his enemies, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to be a little afraid of him. So far, Boba and Fennec are the only familiar characters that are confirmed to appear in the Book of Boba Fett, but given how the Mandalorian loves to bring back fan-favorite characters, or pepper the screen with Easter eggs, it would not be a shock if an old face or two appears. This article author says, my money is on Watto personally. What is Watto doing? Do we think Watto's still alive? Do they show Watto in the sequels? I do not remember. Other characters from The Mandalorian might pop up too, as the series is reportedly more closely linked to the flagship Star Wars series than other spin-offs like Rosario Dawson's led Ahsoka. The Book of Boba Fett boasts a lot of the same creative team that The Mandalorian did, as it's being executive produced by Jon Favreau. Dave Filoni, the mastermind behind the beloved Clone Wars animated series, produces as well, as do Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and Robert Rodriguez, who directed the Mandalorian episode where Boba made his violent return. The Mandalorian composer Ludwig excited to continue this series. I thought the first episode